Did you know? People don't die from exhaustion, they die from a lack of purpose, lack of discipline, and you lose it all. Don't wait until failure to learn self-control. Discipline is the only thing standing between you and the life you were born for. If you don't master yourself, someone else will do it for you. Have you ever laid there staring at the ceiling, feeling trapped in a life going nowhere? You know there's more in you. You feel the potential screaming inside. But then, another day passes. Then a week, a month, and you haven't moved. Not because you're not smart enough, not because you don't have a dream, but because you lack discipline. Discipline is what keeps you from slipping into compromise. It is the line between living on purpose and merely existing. You can have the biggest dream in the world, but if you can't resist the snooze button, if you can't show up when no one is clapping, then that dream is nothing more than a pretty blueprint, forever locked in a drawer. I once believed, I'll change when I feel motivated. But then I learned, motivation comes after action, not before. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to begin. Get up, out of bed, break a sweat, write the plan, keep your promises to yourself. Because every small action is a brick you lay to build the stronger version of yourself. Discipline is not punishment. It is freedom. Freedom from procrastination. Freedom from the guilt of wasted time. Freedom from the self-doubt that eats you alive at night. You don't need to do something extraordinary. You just need to repeat what is right, consistently, without quitting. I know, there are mornings you don't want to wake up. There are days you just want to disappear into your phone, into silence. But hear me, the days you don't feel like doing it are the most important days. Because that's when you are forging your will. That's when you prove you don't live by feelings. You live by purpose. What are you living for? What are you running from? You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be honest with yourself. Dare to face your laziness. Dare to name your weakness. And one step at a time, one silent victory at a time. Overcome yourself. Listen to me. No one is coming to save you. No speech, no video can make you strong. Only you can. And the silent decisions made in the dark. Wake up earlier. Do one more set. Work one more hour. No one sees. Good. Because this isn't a performance. This is a character game. You don't need an audience. You need yourself, to witness your own becoming. Day by day. You cannot conquer the world until you first conquer yourself. And one day, you will look back and realize each tiny choice, each disciplined minute lifted you from a life of fatigue and self-doubt to a path of power and peace. Discipline is not a destination. It is a daily road. So if today you're tired, if you feel lifeless, remember this. You don't need to be perfect to begin. You just need to begin. To become strong. And once you begin, you will find something deeper than goals. You will discover your worth. What comes next is the deeper part of your soul, where you learn to love yourself, not with words, but with the fierce action of a warrior. Discipline is the highest form of self-love. They often say, learn to love yourself. And it sounds right, because who wouldn't want to love themselves? But what they don't tell you is, loving yourself isn't always pleasant. Loving yourself doesn't mean endless rest, every time your feelings dip. Loving yourself doesn't mean pampering every desire. Loving yourself means being brutally honest. It means saying no to what's easy, to protect what's greater than your future. You think eating one more sweet, watching one more episode, sleeping in for 15 more minutes is self-care. But in truth, you are breaking the promises you made to yourself. And every time you do, your inner trust fractures just a little more. You know what's good for you. You know you should study, move, read, rise, but still you say, "I'm just tired. I'll start tomorrow. I deserve a break today." You soothe yourself with excuses that sound reasonable, but are really the sweetest trap, keeping you stuck, or worse, dragging you backward. Loving yourself isn't about living softly. It's about being strong enough to reject the short-term comfort for the sake of long-term peace. Don't confuse what feels good with what is good for you. Not everything that comforts you helps you grow. If you truly love yourself, you won't keep hurting yourself through delay and excuses. You don't need inspiration. You need commitment. You don't need good emotions to start. You need action first, and feelings will follow. Have you ever asked yourself, why do I feel so empty, so disappointed in myself every time I break a plan, a habit, a promise? Because you just betrayed yourself. And that betrayal, though no one sees, is enough to break your trust in your own soul. Loving yourself means waking up on time, whether it's raining or you barely slept. Showing up at the gym, even when your body begs to stay. Turning off the phone, even when the world is buzzing. Finishing what you started, even when you want to quit. Because you know your worth is not measured by how you feel right now. It's measured by what you choose to do, even when you don't want to. There are people who stick to a diet, not because they hate good food, but because they love the feeling of mastering themselves. There are people who skip the party, not because they're shy, but because they have a mission to chase. There are warriors who stay silent in the shadows, grinding without applause, because they know you only truly love yourself when you have enough discipline. To say no to mediocrity, you don't need to shout, "I love myself," just don't skip the workout for silly reasons. Don't delay your goals for just a little fatigue. Don't make promises you won't keep. Don't take shortcuts. That is silent love. That is quiet strength. That is a whisper from within. I deserve a better version of me. And I will become that. No applause needed. I know you've stood in front of the mirror, looked at yourself, and saw disappointment. Not because you lost, but because deep down, you let go, you gave in, you chose easy over right. But today, you can change right here with one decision. You don't need to change the world, just change the way you treat yourself. Say it to your reflection. I love you, and I won't let you live like this anymore. Don't say it with words, say it with action. From now on, you don't need to feel motivated. You just need to feel worth it. Because you are the only one who will live with yourself. Until the end, love yourself enough to do the hard things. What's next? We'll go even deeper. To the reason why you must train. Not for looks, not for fame, but because life will one day strike. Without warning. And if you're not strong inside, you will break. But if you prepare now, you will stand and stand strong. I don't train to win trophies. I train so that when life hits hard, I stay standing. Imagine this. You get a call at 2 a.m. Bad news. Someone you love is gone. You fall to the floor. Hands trembling, heart in pieces. But you still have to live. Still have to show up. Still have to face reality, no matter how brutal. Life's punches don't ask if you're ready. They don't care how fragile you feel. They come, and either you're prepared or you're destroyed. That's why we train. Not just for goals, not just to look better, but to be strong enough for the pain that no one sees coming. I don't run because I enjoy it. I run to build calluses on my mind. I lift heavy to remind myself my body obeys my will, not the other way around. Every drop of sweat, every aching muscle, every time I wanted to quit but didn't, It all whispers one thing: get ready. Life won't be kind. Have you ever asked, why do I train so hard? Why do I push myself to the limit every day? Because when it all collapses, you still have to fulfill your duty, still care for your family, still carry the pain, and keep moving. And if you've never trained for that moment, you'll fall, too soon to reach hope. Training is the armor you wear before the war, the foundation that stays. When everything else crumbles, it's the inner strength no one sees, but it's what saves you from the abyss. Don't train to win. Train so that when everything falls apart, you don't. I've stood in the gym, heart pounding, sweat pouring, legs giving out, and I wanted to quit. But then I imagined, what if tomorrow someone I love needs me? What if I'm their only anchor? Will I be strong enough? And I knew I don't have the luxury of weakness because someone is counting on me to be strong. Training isn't just about muscles. It forges your will. It sharpens your spirit. It turns the fragile into the unbreakable. Look at life. Who hasn't felt pain? Who hasn't tasted loss? But not everyone makes it through. Only those who prepared ahead have the strength to rise. If you're hesitating today, remember, you're not training for now. You're preparing for the storm. And when that day comes, you won't tremble. You won't break. You won't blame fate because you've trained for this. Training is not a hobby. It's survival. It's how you build a spirit that cannot be shaken. And if today you're tired, remember, you don't train for medals. You train to still pick up your child after school, to still hold your parents when they're sick, to still stand when the one you love most is gone. Training is not because you are weak. It's because you are too precious to live weak. What's next? We step into the realm of truth. Success is not for the easy. You want greatness? Then are you willing to pay the full price? This is the next challenge, and you must choose: turn back or step into the fire of transformation. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. U.S. Marines. Everyone wants success. Everyone wants financial freedom, wants to live without limits, wants to be called great. But how many are willing to pay the price? You can hit like on a motivational video. You can write a list of goals for the year. You can tell your friends, I want to change, I want to be different. But when the clock hits 5 a.m., do you get up? When your friends call you out, do you stay and finish your work? When the muscle pain begs you to quit mid-workout, do you go one more lap? Glory does not belong to the talkers. It belongs to those who dare to hurt. Here's the truth. Most people aren't ready to endure. They want the reward, but not the sacrifice. They want the destination, but not the journey. You can't have everything. If you're not willing to give up something, you can't sleep until noon and expect good health. Can't eat pizza every night and expect a lean body. Can't game all evening and expect a raise. Life doesn't negotiate with half-heartedness. It pays you in exact proportion to the price you're willing to pay. And when you receive little, it's because you haven't given enough. I know, pain is real. Exhaustion is real. Those silent moments when you want to quit, no one sees them, but you carry them. And yet, that's when the difference is made. Not under the spotlight, but in the dark, where you keep going. When no one's clapping, do you dare to run one more lap when your legs are numb? To say no to distractions and stay with your plan? To rise before your alarm even rings? Do you dare trade now for what you can become? Winners aren't always more talented. They're the ones who hurt longer, endure more, and refuse to leave the race. You want success? Then ask yourself, will you fail 10 times and still not quit? Will you stand in a crowd that doubts you and still believe? Will you train until you bleed for a dream no one understands? You won't be given glory. You'll have to rip it from life's hands, with sweat, with discipline, with every no you say to comfort. And one day, you'll look back and realize every time you crushed laziness, every moment you refused to quit, you were laying bricks for a version of you that nothing can shake. This world is full of dreamers, but only a few dare to defend those dreams with ruthless consistency. Which one are you? No one is born great, but you can train until you cannot be ignored. And if you're still reading, if your heart is burning right now, that's not random. It's a sign. That fire still lives inside you. That willpower is still there. That part of you is screaming, I was born for more. Next, we confront the most dangerous enemy, yourself. No one stops you more than you. No one sabotages your growth like the voice that whispers, just skip today. It's okay. You must learn to win against that enemy daily, because the real battle is about to begin. The most dangerous enemy isn't out there. It's in your own mind. Stop now. Be honest. How many times have you blocked your own way? How many times have you said, I'll start tomorrow. I don't have time. I'm not good enough. Maybe this just isn't for me. Sound familiar? That's not truth. That's a lie from within, a voice of fear, of laziness, of weakness, whispering every day, don't push, rest, sleep a little more. And if you're not alert, you'll listen. You'll live by impulse, repeating the cycle of delay, compromise, and quiet self-loathing. You don't need an enemy. You just need to keep listening to the voice that makes you weaker every day. The outside enemy can hit you, but only the inner enemy can make you quit. No one knows how many plans you've torn up, how many excuses you've made, but you do, and only you can change that. You don't need someone to tell you you're off track. You already know. You don't need another motivational video. You've watched enough. What you need is the courage to face the truth that you are the biggest reason you're not further. A hard truth. Life doesn't hand out rewards. You have to earn them. And if you don't discipline yourself, life will do it for you. No one's stopping you. Just you. Just the old version of you. Clinging to comfort, afraid of change, afraid of failure. So how do you win? You don't need to be superhuman. Just start small dash and repeat it, even when no one is watching. When you want to skip the workout, train 5 more minutes. When you feel like postponing your plans, rewrite your goals with more clarity. When you feel useless, take action, even if it's just one small step. Victory doesn't come from a giant leap. It comes from 1,000 quiet decisions to do the right thing when no one is watching. That's when you are truly strong. Not when you speak well or shout slogans, but when you stay silent and keep moving. Every time you silence the weak voice in your head, you're rebuilding respect with yourself. Do you know what makes a person truly dangerous? Not strength, not fame, but quiet discipline. The ability to defeat themselves over and over again. You can keep living the same way. Keep obeying the same tired version of you. Keep backing down every time you're tired. Or you can choose to be the one in control of your own thoughts. No one can control you, as long as you control you. And remember, you will never go further than the weak version of yourself. You keep forgiving. Stop. Right now, stop defending your delay. Stop making excuses. Stop calling laziness rest. What do you want from life? Then act like someone who deserves it. We walk into a deeply emotional journey, a true story of someone who was once a failure, mocked by the world, but turned loneliness, pain, and tears into an unquenchable fire. You'll see. You don't need anyone to lift you. You just need one decision. Don't break. I used to be the weakest kid in the room. But because no one came to save me, I had to become unbreakable. Picture a boy, overweight, slow, bullied. No one believed he would amount to anything. No expectations, not even from himself. Every morning he looked in the mirror and saw a failure, an invisible soul. A nobody, no encouragement, no pats on the back, no one saying, "You've got this." That boy was me. You see, I wasn't born talented. I didn't grow up in an ideal environment. I had no guide, no mentor, no roadmap to success. All I had was the deep ache of feeling lost inside my own skin, so much that I had to do everything to never feel that way again. No one helped me? Good. That's why I became someone no one dares to overlook. I started to train, not to show off, not to prove anything to others. I trained Dash because I couldn't live one more day feeling weak and worthless. I ran when it rained. I trained while others slept. I studied when everyone quit. I hurt. I cried. I fell. But I got back up. Every time I hit the floor, I whispered, "No one's coming to save you. You are the only one who can change this." I failed. So many times people thought I was insane. But I rose, stronger, clearer, and I kept going. I'm not the smartest, not the fastest, not the strongest, but I have one thing. Most don't. I don't quit. I don't make excuses. I don't beg for pity. And slowly, layer by layer, the weak shell began to crack. I looked back, and the scared little boy was gone. In his place, a warrior. Someone who, no matter how hard life hits, will stand back up, will endure, will move forward. No one is born strong. We are shaped by the scars. And if today you feel like a failure, I want you to know, you're not. You're just at the beginning of your story. I was once you. I once lay on the floor, feeling like I had no reason to keep going. I once listened to that cruel voice in my head every morning. You're not enough. You're not strong. You'll never make it. But I chose not to believe it. I chose action. I chose pain. I chose persistence. And day by day, I won. You don't need to be special to start, but you must start to have a chance at becoming special. If you feel like you have nothing, good. That means you won't depend on anyone. You won't wait to be rescued. You'll build what you need. You'll become who you were meant to be, second by second, moment by moment. Each time you say no to quitting. I'm not brilliant, but I keep my promises to myself. I'm not perfect, but I don't betray my own word. You want change? Don't wait for motivation. Act like someone who owes themselves a better life. And remember, no one remembers the quitter's name. Only those who finish. Get to write history. Next up, we expose the most silent destroyer of our generation. Your phone. Distraction, a slow death by things that add nothing to your life. You must choose. Keep scrolling, or wake up and start living a life worth remembering. Time isn't what kills you. Your phone does. Take a look at your day. You wake up, and the first thing you touch isn't awareness. It's a glowing screen. Scrolling the news, scrolling TikTok, scrolling Instagram, scrolling past your own life. You say you don't have time to work out, no time to study, no time to chase your passion. But the truth is, you do have time. You're just giving it away to the wrong things. You live in a generation with everything. Free knowledge, endless opportunities, global connection. And yet you're shackled by a device you can't put down. You're not being controlled by anyone. You're willingly locking yourself in a digital cage. You know you're wasting time. You know each mindless scroll delays your dreams. But you keep doing it. Keep scrolling. Keep feeding your mind cheap, empty content. Why? Because it's easy. Because it asks nothing of you. Because it helps you forget that you're not living the life you want. But here's the truth. No one becomes great by spending 3 hours a day on social media. No one becomes a warrior addicted to fake dopamine hits. You might say, I need to relax. I need to be entertained. It's fine, just a little. But that little steals years from your life. You're trading your future for momentary amusement. You think you control your phone, but in reality, it controls your mind, controls your moods, and silently turns you into nothing. You don't need to quit entirely. You just need to take charge. You just need to say, today I use the phone. The phone doesn't use me. Try one day without social media. You'll discover you can get twice the work done. You can feel peace return to your mind. You can reconnect with the real you. Social media makes you feel busy. But really, you're just busy doing nothing. This is your wake-up call. Turn off notifications. Keep your phone out of reach while working. Spend at least 1 hour a day with no screens. Reconnect with reality, with your true self. Are you living or just existing through a screen? Remember, Instagram will still be there. TikTok won't disappear. But your time will, and every minute that passes never comes back. You wonder why you're not further ahead? Look at your hands. That phone is where your golden hours are vanishing. It's not a lack of ability, not a lack of opportunity, it's a lack of ownership. And if you want to take back your life, start here, right now. Turn it off, put it away. Give 1 hour to something meaningful. Learn, write, train, or simply reflect. How do you truly want to live? I don't want to be remembered just for the number of followers I had. I want to be remembered for daring to live, for choosing what matters, for refusing distraction, so I could become what I was born to be. What comes next is the final warning. You can keep blaming, or you can take responsibility and change. No one else is responsible for you. No one else will live your life. Your life is yours, and yours alone. Not your fault? Maybe, but always your responsibility. Someone hurt you. Your family abandoned you. You've been lied to, betrayed, stepped on. I don't deny your pain. I'm not asking you to forget. I'm not saying just be strong like a cliché. I'm saying this because you need to hear it. Whatever happened, from today forward, your life is your responsibility. You can't control the past. You can't change others. You can't demand fairness from people who don't care, but you can choose not to let them control what's left of your life. They hurt you once. Don't let the memory hurt you every day. You have the right to be sad, the right to fall apart, the right to cry like a child. But then, you must rise like a warrior. We are not responsible for our wounds, but we are responsible for our healing. I know part of you is screaming, but why me? Why do I have to carry this? The answer is simple, because no one else will. You can blame the world. You can wait for an apology that may never come. You can dream of a what-if future. Or, you can take back control. Don't confuse fault with responsibility. Fault is theirs. Responsibility is yours, because it's your life. If you don't rise, no one can carry that pain for you. If you don't act, no one can save you from drowning in doubt. I've blamed the world too. I used to think, if I had a better family, I'd be different. I blamed my parents, my friends, society. But then I realized, the more I blame, the weaker I become. The more I avoid, the more I lose control. The day I said, no matter what, I will begin again. No matter what has happened, I can still create a better version of myself. That was the day I truly began to live. Ask yourself, do you want to be pitied or to be proud? Do you want to remain a victim of your past or become the hero of your own story? You may be wounded, but you are not the pain. You may fall, but you are not the fall. You are bigger than what happened to you. You are what you choose from this moment forward. Responsibility doesn't mean blame. It means I am strong enough not to be defined by the worst things that happen to me. Here's the truth. No one is obligated to heal you. No one owes you an apology. No one owes you payback. But if you rise, if you take action, if you turn every wound into fuel for your rise, no one can stop you. From now on, you don't ask permission to be happy. You don't wait for someone to complete you. You don't hide anymore. You take responsibility, because you want to own your life. And that is the very power that makes you unbreakable. The final part is here. No more theory, no more waiting. Only action remains. You'll see, only when you choose to step forward, only when you dare to begin, do you start to rewrite your destiny. Dreams are not born from imagination. They are born from daily, consistent action. You've come this far. If your heart is still beating strong, if there's still a flicker of fire in your chest, then don't let it die. You've read this far. You've felt it. You've been moved. Now it's time to act. Not tomorrow, not when you have time, not when motivation magically appears, but now, this moment. Stand up, straighten your back. Take a deep breath and tell yourself, I'm going to do this, Even if no one sees, even if no one believes, even if I'm still afraid. Because here's the truth. You don't need to be certain to begin. You just need enough courage not to stay still anymore. You don't need a perfect plan. You need the first step. Then the next, then another dash, until one day you stop asking, can I really do this? Because you'll look back and see how far you've already come. A journey of 1,000 miles will never begin if you don't take the first step. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you've been through. But I know this. If you dare to begin, nothing is impossible. You can be the first in your family to break the cycle. The first to rise after generations of quitting. The first to live fully, even when the world doubts you. And that is the legacy you leave. Not money, not fame, but perseverance. Resilience, the choice to live fully, when everyone else chose easy. It's okay to cry today, but promise yourself, you'll keep moving. You may be tired, but don't stop, because every second you move forward, you're rewriting fate. Every second you act, you're turning pain into fire. Life doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you're willing to suffer for and fight for. You want to be different? Then live differently. Wake earlier. Do more. Focus harder. Be more decisive. No excuses, no more, maybe tomorrow. Because if not now, then when? If not you, then who? It's time to stop dreaming and start building. To stop telling stories of what if and start writing the next chapter, with blood, sweat, and an unbreakable spirit. You are enough. You are ready. All that's missing is one step, just one, and I believe you'll take it, because you were not born to live quietly. You were born to do something worth remembering. Rise, act, and never look back. This is your life. Make it great. Life promises you nothing, but if you dare to live fully, it will give you back something no one can ever take away. You've made it to the end of this journey. Not to hear a speech, not to feel motivated for a few minutes before going back to old habits. You came this far because a part of you has awakened. You know you weren't born for a life of mediocrity. You feel there's something bigger waiting for you. You hunger to break free. And even if you're scared, even if you doubt, you've heard the voice within. This is no longer the time to hesitate, no longer the time to keep preparing, no longer the time to wait for perfect. Life truly begins when you dare to act, even while your hands still tremble. Everything you've just been through was a reminder You are stronger than you think. You deserve more than you've been settling for. And you can change anything if you dare to begin. You don't need permission. You don't need another sign from the universe. You just need to look yourself in the eye and say, I will not let this life pass by without meaning. Every morning you wake up is a privilege. Every heartbeat is an opportunity. Stop wasting another day, living a life that isn't truly yours. You didn't come here just to survive. You came to RISE, to fight, to shine, to leave a mark this world cannot erase. In the end, people will remember you for who you became. Not because you were perfect, but because you dared. Dared to choose what was right when easy was still available. Dared to say no when the whole world said yes. Dared to love yourself in the deepest way. Through discipline, through responsibility, through silent action no one ever saw. And if one day you grow tired, fall to your knees in the middle of the journey, you've faced pain, you've endured disappointment, then come back here, read these words again, listen again to the voice within your soul. Because you are a warrior, because you are a flame, because you are living proof that a human being can rise from anything. Don't wait for the future. Don't wait for someone to lead the way. Live like you owe yourself a great life. And one day, when you look back, you will know every drop of sweat, every fall, every unrelenting step forward was worth it because you lived, without missing it, without settling, without regret.